Good evening. Let myself set myself up. Hang on, I've got an echo. Let's turn that down. Right, hopefully that'll be an echo. Let's see who we get. Right. Try and turn this on. Oh, I dislike. Hang on, come live. That's it. Right, it should be there. Good evening, if anybody's out there. If you are, let me know so I can see who's in here. Doodly-doo. See, we've got one person. Don't be shy. Let me know you're there. Oh, there. Evening, Stephen. Hope you're well, mate. How's it going? Oh, dear. Right. Tonight, we're going to go over a couple of things, a couple of different things using some metals. And we've had a few questions about gunmetal this week. So, oh, good man. Glad to hear it, Steve. Yeah, we're going to look over. We had some questions about gunmetal this week, and I'd like to explain. Hi, Cameron. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Stephen. Very tired, but I'm very good. I'm getting fitter by the day, which is cool. I'm doing physical work for the first time in 23 years. So I'm struggling, but my body's getting used to it again. So it's all good, and I'm loving what I'm doing. So thank you. That's great. Right, yeah, as I was saying, we've had some questions about gunmetal and why the colour it is. But we'll go over that shortly. Firstly, we'll go over a few bits and pieces while we're building it up a little bit. We got, if you're on Facebook, you've probably seen this week I finished the FX 172nd Buccaneer. There you go. She's all done. Highly recommend this kit. Now, what I'm going to do, as I said before, when I do a review of a kit, evening, Darren. Hope you're well, buddy. And you, Cam. Oh dear. You was saying, yeah. Highly recommend it. What I'm going to do is when I review a kit, i.e. the Buccaneer, I'm going to put straight on the bench. I'm not going to do any more of this, put it in the stash, build it when you can. I'm going to build the kit, unless, of course, I've got something on the go at the time. And let's say, do a review, build it, and then review it afterwards again. Because I think after a couple of people have said, what's the point in doing video reviews of sprues, which I think is very interesting, personally, watching other people's, to see what you get in the box, basically. And I found it very helpful in deciding what I'm going to do. And when I built it, we'll do the review on here live. Good man. Nice to hear it, Darren. And tell you what I thought of the kit that went together. With this kit, there isn't any cons. Now, as for shape and size, I haven't got a clue. I don't go into that. It looks like a Buccaneer to me. It's probably the best one that's on the market at the moment in 172nd. I expect somebody would argue, and if you've got an opinion, please let me know. But it went together superb. It was built in 2 weeks, which for me at the moment is very quick. I have a kit coming tomorrow. Good evening, Andrew. I have a kit coming tomorrow, which I will do a review on. I've previously built one of these kits, but I wanted to do an Israeli version to use our Israeli colours, which we got together a couple of years ago. So I'm going to build that. But as for this kit now, I'll do a review, then you'll see what it is when you watch the review. But the cockpit, I always leave the glass loose so I can clean it inside and out for when we go to shows and what have you. So you can see inside, she's sweet. I really love building it. Hi, Simon. Really nice kit to build. Highly recommended for a small kit. In a small kit, I proved that last week. But yeah, fantastic. Highly recommend that one. Anybody who wants to build a Buccaneer, that's the one to have. So I'll put that there for a few moments. We've got, I thought what I better do, as Alclad is most famous for its metallics, I thought I'd better bring one up that I've done in metallics. This was all done in high shine aluminium and chrome, and something else I use, dark aluminium, for certain bits and pieces. It's going to be hard to show on, even on Facebook, looking at my computer screen. It's a bit shiny, but it's not over shiny. But this was the Airfix version. Again, the canopy comes off so I can transport it easier. The cockpit is beautifully done. This has been in a airproof container, so it is clean and tidy. Again, a beautiful kit to build from Airfix. Lovely. And in comparison, we have our Edard version. So we can compare the kits. And to be truthful, there's not that much difference in the two kits. You pay quite a bit of money for the Edard version, but then you get all the extras like the seat belts, this, that, and the other. With the Airfix version, obviously you don't. You buy the Edard kit itself, but they come all together with this one. So, all well and good. That's just an idea, just to show you, you know, I practice what I preach. I use the paints. I don't use anything else. This is all Alclad. This one was Jersey Jerk, and this one was Roven Roder, which is Leiston based, which Darren will know is very close to me, out at near Sizewell. It's the next village down from Sizewell Power Station. That's why I built it in that scheme. Not my favourite scheme on a Mustang, I will admit, but because it was a local bird, that's why I built it. And you build what you want to build in this game. Evening, young Frederick. How are you, fella? So that's why that was built. So I'm going to move these out of the way. But I can highly recommend both kits. I'm just going to do... I can't do a comparison because I've actually glued that one on. I just noticed a slight difference in shape on the Edard kit compared to the Airfix. Very minor. And the grab handle's in a different position. That still probably fit. But they're both 148 scale. Both beautiful kits. Highly recommend both of them. Oh, great stuff, fella. I like your new cave, by the way. I think that looked great. Sharing it with the missus would be a no-no for me, but there you go. She's downstairs, I can say that, and she's not interested in what I do. But there you go. So, yeah. What we're going to do tonight is basically put down some black and grey microfiller primer, or primer and microfiller, and use a bit of white aluminium, a bit of gunmetal. And if Rob is here somewhere, he'll know the reasons. But I thought I'm just going to try it out, see how we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a trusty ME110 wing, we're going to give it a bit of a spray up with some primer. Just show you how quick it dries. So last week I did do the draw for the giveaway. Young Rob has got the information and has agreed to the giveaways, which is a fantastic news for me. So I thought I'd blown it. So we get 20 in here. We'll do another giveaway. We did it for 10 plus. Now we'll do it for 20 plus or 20 and plus. Okay, guys. So get your mates in here. Pass it around. Get it shouting around. Get in. We'll just have a, I don't know. I was going to say have a party, but I can't really do that at the moment. I have to wear a mask and all that. But hey, we'll soon be free. And I've got my jab on Sunday. So if I look like a werewolf next week, you know why. Hi, John. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you for your lovely comments last week. I appreciate that. So, usual thing, Alclad 309-60, black primer, microfiller. Don't look, Fred, look away. Because I preach it and don't practice it. As I said to my young Padawan at work, don't do what I do, do as I say. But there you go. So, all I'm going to do, I hope you can see this, keep it level. Just going to put some primer down on here, just black to begin with. Now the black is for the gunmetal. Or the reason I'm putting the black down is for the gunmetal, and I'll explain that process in a minute. But there is a reason for this. Okay, right. So I'm going to come up to that far for a simple reason. That gives me a little bit of room. Clean this airbrush out quickly. Well, I hope so, mate. Because they're based probably less than 15 miles from you up the road, buddy. Right, put that out of the way. Clean this airbrush out quick. Just for the mixture, I'm running at about 12 to 15 psi, slightly higher than I normally would. Good evening, young William. Hope you're well, sir. Right, just clean that out. I'm not going to be too bad on this because I'm going straight in with the grey next. So we'll go in with the grey. Yeah, I cut one hair off, Will. Yeah, we will do the Oxford Blue, Steve. We will do it. It might take a little while. John, no. Thanks, fella. John, you had no need. Every single one of our paints that we make at the moment is straight from the bottle to the airbrush. No need to thin anything. It is plenty thin enough and it works really well. We are looking to do the tinlets. That is on the list to do. But we'll just have to see how it goes along. It's quite an expensive process to change, believe it or not, from what we do to something different. So it all takes capital, it all takes time and money, but it will happen at some point. 50-50, 70-30. How would I call that? I would call that more 2080, mate. I know exactly what you mean. Ooh, look at that. Too much airbrush, too much paint in the airbrush. Didn't put the cap on. Never killed the model doing that. But normally with a model, I'm a bit more careful. I'm not carefuler. That would be Suffolk for you. So, yeah, that's fine. That's all I need to do. Now, as this is purely live tonight, Young Brian the Northerner. That was the guy I meant to say. Northern Modeler, I believe. He was the one that Lynn pulled out of the hat last week. I didn't have to do with it. I gave her a list of names, and she just went, him. So I don't know who it is. Oh, just to be truthful, it's dust coats. I like dust coats to be on, William. I prefer those. Things with our paints, because they are lacquer based, they dry very, very quickly. It's not like if you blast it on, it can be a problem. And I've got a little bit of a residue, but they dry so much quicker. I'm sorry, Stephen. It weren't me. Blame the missus. You know, you can do what you like to her. She picked it. I'll pick one. I'll put one in the random generator this week. I'll get all the names from the people who are on here, and I'll make a random generator up. And but I like that. I feel betrayed. That's made me giggle. I think that's quite good. Right. So obviously there's no jump cuts. There can't be. This is dry. This is bone dry. Do what I like on it. That's the greatest thing I believe about, apart from their perfect colours. The best thing there is. Right, what I'm going to do to this, because I'm going to put some high polish on it, I'm going to buff it. So you saw how long ago it was. I did it. And I'm just going to take any roughness off just with a sanding stick, and I just buff it up a little bit just to give us a bit of a shinier surface to work with. Blow the dust off with the air. There you go. We've got a nice, reasonably, well, a very, very flat surface, and it ain't be shiny because it is a matte paint. But right, gunmetal. Now, the story behind the gunmetal. The gunmetal has a purple-blue hue to it. The reason that is, the gunmetal you see, and I've got one here, which is the Vallejo. This is only one I ever use for detail work until we get ours sorted. You can use cellulose thinners, a hot thinner. There are other things. It looks like Dudley's coming to join us. Are you coming in? He won't like the thingy. But that's what you can use that, cellulose thinners. Don't use cellulose on the aqua gloss though. It will clog it to heck. So anyway, going back to the gunmetal. This gunmetal is very silvery. It's almost a dark titanium color. It does, you're right. But the true gunmetal has got a blue purple hue to it. When you see machine guns or anything else which has got a metallic finish to it, it's normally because generator. Oh, that's gone. Well, you mean the compressor, mate? Yeah, she's going lovely. True gunmetal is has a bluey type of purpley hue to it. It's called bluing. Now, the muzzles and the guns themselves, like in a B-17, would have been painted with this color. When you get the external, I forgot what they're called, the jackets that go over them, the anti-flash or they're the ones that are painted in this. They're the proper, what I would say proper, they aren't proper gunmetal. They're more metallic coat. But this is what we're looking at tonight, and this is our gunmetal. Now, it is almost a candy in many respects. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to just lay it down. That's all you need to do. Turn the pressure down just slightly. Doesn't need to be that high. And then just give it a light going over. and that will give you a true gunmetal colour, which is very difficult to see in any light except daylight. But we have put the lights on. You can see, hopefully you can see the difference. If I look at my computer and get there, you can see it on there. And it looks perfect to me. Now, that is what I would call a true gunmetal. Yeah, that's right. Because the Hellcat guns don't have a shroud on them. If they had a shroud on them, then put something like the new titanium that's coming out. Yeah, all right, mate. I'll have a kettle on. Yeah, it's got the titanium. It's not a polished metal, so you could use perhaps steel, magnesium, something like that, which would bring it out. Thank you, fella, and you. Sleep well. So that's the reasoning behind the bluey purpley haze of the gunmetal, which Brian, Northern Modeler, questioned me about, which is absolutely fine, and I'm quite happy to answer those questions. So just give this a quick flow out. And like I said last week, anybody who says enamels or lacquer-based enamels are hard to clean out with your airbrush, they're fibbing, because it's easy. I hope that compressor ain't coming through too loud. Here we go. Right. Okay. Now we're on to white aluminium. Great. Thanks, bud. Now, the reason that I'm going to spray some white aluminium is because somebody said there was a reaction between the white aluminium and the grey and black primer, which I call false. And sprayed properly, there should be no reaction. You spray heavily, you will get cracking. You will get a whiteness that you don't want. Thanks, Darren. The mic is quite good. It's omnidirectional, so it would pick it up a little bit. Right, so this is the white aluminium, which is Alclad2. Yeah, cool. Robbie would be impressed. He knows how useless I am with numbers. So, quick spray. And I'm going to start on the grey this time. If you want a really good high shine, use your grey gloss. Black is great for chrome, but if you want a high shine aluminium or anything like that, then use your grey. You'd be surprised how well that comes out. But now, for the person who claimed they had a reaction, I think they're calling, I could call that bull. Because if you can see that there, that's over just plain grey microfiller. And that's still quite shiny and very, very metallic looking. In fact, I'm very impressed. The only thing I can think of with the person who did that, and I'm sure I put an email to him, that he used something in his airbrush before and it did something to the paint. But that's... yeah, it will. It'll look fantastic. You're right, Stuart. And good evening, sir. I think... well, when I first started models, I used to follow Mr. Flory quite a lot and watch his work. And I learned quite a bit from him. He said, I remember him saying quite in his earlier videoed years of his reviews and his spraying, that he used a lot of Tamiya, and he said Alclad were great, but they are very difficult to work with. Well, you saw what I just did, and is that hard? Because I don't think it is. I mean, there's quite a good finish. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go a step further, I think. Again, look, you saw me spray it. How long ago was that? It's dry. And as hard as nails. I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to get the shiny as whatever out and go over top of that gunmetal just for a play while we've got the chance. Let's see how shiny we can get it. Because the gunmetal is almost a very deep candy colour, it has a gloss effect to it, and I'm just quite interested to see how well that'll come out. So I'll get my special bottle, the shiny as F something or other. You can see it's well used. Take the lid off. It looks like we've got silver, solid silver around the top. I don't know how well you guys will pick that up. Put that against my jumper. That's better. You can see she is beautiful. This is my favourite metal. And if Rob, if you're still on here, if you're on here, I know you do come on, but you're quiet. Please do some more of that. That's fantastic. All I've got to do, I've got to spray this straight over the top of the candy, you know, just to see what we get. Being a little bit more careful this time because I wanted to blast the last lot on simply to test out this other guy's problem. We've blown that one out of the water, I think. And it's coming. With this, you can spray this one a little bit heavier. I'm not saying blast it like you would X11 Tamiya, but you can give it just that little bit extra, and a little bit extra does it good. Well, that's what I tell the wife, but she don't listen. Just making it a little bit of a heavier coat, and you'll see, you can probably see what I'm talking about already by the way that's glinting. And I also love this because it's almost scratch resistant. Put that out of the way. Right. The pigments in this is incredible. The quality. Bit of blowback. Say no more. And a quick blow through. Jobs are good. We're on 15, guys. If you want a giveaway, we've got to get to 20. That was the deal. And if we ever get to 50, I'll double it. We'll do 6 bottles instead of 3. So there we go. Right, going back to what we just did. Let me turn that off. So there you are. Now let's get it on. That light is awful. To get a glint on it. There you go. You can see the bit that I did at the bottom, which is the F shiny. And she's extremely good. If that had been on to actual gloss black base, it would be superb. But as you can see, again, she's dry. Now the benefit of this one, I'm going, hello, we half an hour already. Blimey, that was quick. Sorry about that. I forgot to warn you. That's come out really well, Darren. And that was just, I didn't even think about that. I just wanted to try it. So you get a buff and stick. This is one that came from Mr. Flory himself years ago. I must give it a buff. Again, you've seen how long ago that I sprayed this. And I can see a difference. There we go. I didn't give it much. Don't need much. You can't really tell. But I can see my ugly mug in it. It's difficult to show it on camera. Yeah, well, I think I did. It was aluminium. I did the Mustang in this one. Yonks ago, it was aluminium and pale aluminium. Was it pale? No, it was dark aluminium, white aluminium, which is the pale aluminium, and a semi-matte aluminium. So I love doing it. That is smooth as a baby's bot. It's been a long while since I had to wipe one of them. But yeah, that's nice. So, clean up. You saw me do it on my mat here, which isn't brilliantly clean anyway. All I got is some isopropyl alcohol. Don't drink this if you want to survive. Bit of kitchen towel. Quick rub. I've stopped using kitchen towel under it now because this is so easy to clean up. I know isopropyl alcohol is quite limited at the moment due to COVID and its sterilising properties. I've had this bottle 7, 8, maybe 10 years, and it's now getting to the bottom. But I have a gallon away somewhere, or half a gallon, because I promised half a gallon to Mr. Burr. I just want to, before I do forget, I just want to say happy birthday to Glenn for the weekend. He's one of the Alclad crew. He makes our cars. Happy birthday, Glenn. I'm sorry I missed it. To be truthful, I don't go on Facebook that much at the moment with work commitments and other things. I'm finding I want to be up here now. I've got my mojo back. The Buccaneer, everything I've done just lately. The Zvezda Hercules was amazing kit. We did the Draken, we did the Osprey. Just got my mojo back. And it's a GWH kit coming tomorrow. And I know how good that is. It's not a young kit. It's 2017, 2018. But it is loaded for 172 models. The 172 kits nowadays that are coming out are off. I'm getting fed up with that noise. Are getting off the planet with the amount of stuff in them. They're not like we used to have as kids, which is fantastic. Again, I was talking to Mick Burr. He's in my how can we put it? What's the word he used? Bubble. Oh, bubble. No, it's not an F-16, mate. That's not the F-14. It's an F-15. I need to build a new F-15, and I specifically wanted to build the Israeli one to use the Israeli camo. So I think it looks great in that camo. I would like to do the 148, but they are extremely expensive. They've come a long while with the slide molding techniques now. You just get such great detail on such smaller models. They are terrific. If you want a good model nowadays, you haven't got to spend a lot of money on a 148 kit. You can get, I say that, I mean, the 172nd F-15, which is due tomorrow, is, I think it's £28. I would love to do the F4E. when that comes out, that's already on my watch list. When it comes into stock, it will be here. Normally, when I was working in Lowestoft, I was only a quarter of a mile away from Hannon, so I could pick them up on day of release. But now I'm working in the opposite direction. It's not so easy, and they have to be sent, and they're not even open due to COVID. I think you can click and collect, but it's not worth it. I might as well just wait. And it's an older kit. If it's a brand new kit, I'll go and get it. But the F4, I've seen the F4. I've seen mock-ups of the F4, and it looks incredible. I mean, I've still got one of my first Academy F4s is on my shelf over there. And I've got a Edard Academy. Was it Good Morning Vietnam or Good Evening Vietnam or something? He's up in my sealed case up there, ready for the show this year. Because we're gonna be there. If it's there, I hope we're gonna be there. We've missed it. We need to go back. It's the highlight of the modelling year for most of us boys. It's hard work, but we love it. And that's how I feel like today. Like I've just done a day at Telford. That's how tired I actually am. But that's beyond. Anyway, is there anything you want to see me do? We've got another 20 minutes or so. Tell me what you want. If you want me to do something in front of everybody, show you how I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it. Build a car. Tell you what, Fred, you find me one. Look in Hannon's, find me one. I'll build the F-15 and I'll build a car. You find me one and I'll order it. I'm sure Rob won't mind. And then I'll build one. And I'll use the candies. Make it a real poppy one. Something like a Ferrari or a McLaren. I don't mind, whatever. We'll build it. I never built a car. That's a lie. The last time I built a car, I was a youngster, and it was a Lamborghini. Oh, can't remember. I know it was a Lamborghini, and it was one of the first Lamborghinis released, and it was fantastic. The Revel Jag. Revel Jag. Which version is that, Steve? I'll tell you something else as well, Steve. You said about Revel. I know what you mean, but we need a British F4 Phantom, an F4K in 148, desperately. Revell bought the Hasegawa molds, and I can see why Hasegawa sold them, because they're worn out to heck. Both myself and Mick tried to build one, and they were just awful. Which is unlike a Hasegawa kit. Oh, blimey. That's big. Yeah. I don't mind 124th. I don't mind 112th. Whatever you find, Fred, I'll build up. And I'll tell you what I'll do, Fred. I'll do it like you. I'll do a live a couple of days a week. If you do it, if you find me one. No, not the Countach. What was the one before that? That's got me at it now. It was beautiful looking kit. It looked a lot like a Porsche at the front, if I remember rightly. Porsche 924 at the front. And it just fell together. It was beautiful. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about, we desperately need a British F4K in 148. Zucamori keep coming out with their fantastic F4s, but no one brings a British one. No, not a Diablo. It'll be previous to the Countach. I can't remember. You got me at it. Hang on. Oh, Lamborghini. Not the Urus. Lamborghini. Models. Old models. Oh, no, not that. That's got to be older than that. Ugh. trying to remember what it was. Miura, that's it, the Miura. Beautiful looking car. Never had a chance to drive in one, although there is one local, as there is an Enzo as well local. In fact, 15 miles up the road, we have multiple Ferraris, which belongs to the drummer of Pink Floyd, because he lives about 15 miles from me, along with Mr. Ed Sheeran, who is a really nice guy, by the way. Yeah, the Miura, that's just, it was incredible. I didn't even paint it. I didn't need to. I just loved the white. It came in white plastic. I don't even know whose kit it was. I think it was Airfix. But it went together like a dream. But I think when I built it, I was about 8. And I'm now 55. So that makes, what, 47 years ago? So I wouldn't even know what an airbrush was. If you asked me to paint a kit with one of these, forget it. You got no hope. I can't even draw a stick man. I just love using my airbrush. It's hilarious. Rather Tamaya. But yeah, going back to the F4, we need one desperately. For some reason, Zucamori, I thought Zucamori would have kicked it in the park and done one by now. We're all desperate for one. Everybody wants one now. So, you know, I say everybody, us Brits do. They did the Miura. Yeah, but I'm talking 47 years ago. I wouldn't even known who Italeri was, mate. I had a choice back then of Airfix and Novo. So it would have been one of the other, and I'm damn sure it weren't Novo. So their kits were just a lump of plastic made to look like something closely. But yeah, it seemed such a long while ago now. We had the Mosquito. That was a lovely little 172 kit from Airfix at the time. I agree, Chancer. I really do. I do agree with you. I'll tell you, I got spoiled. I seriously got spoiled. Rob treated me to an F16 in 1/32 in Tamiya version. And you build it up and it clicks into place and you literally hear it click into place. I got so spoiled. I then went on to something different. I thought, this is a load of junk. But it isn't. It's because you do something like the Tamiya kit. As I said to Mick Burr at the weekend, if you do the Tamiya kit, you'll think everything else is rubbish because it goes together so well. But it isn't rubbish. It's what we are. We're modelers. We're not assemblers. We're modelers. And he was dead right. He got onto me. But I said to him the weekend, you do that, you'll understand where I was coming from at that point. So we'll see. Because he's now going to do the F16. And I'd also like to say well done to Katja Pennant, who did a beautiful F16 in aggressor colours using Alclad2. Because the aggressor blues, the aggressor greys, there's 2 different types of aggressor, air superiority blues. She used all those and she did a fantastic job on our F16 aggressor and the end model. And it was brilliant. The Valum, that's a company. Now, I've heard good things about Valums. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm starting to. Now I got back into. I was nervous about the Zvezda kit because, you know, you hear such things about Zvezda. Oh, good. You hear such good things about things about Zvezda that aren't that good from that older kits. But Mick built the Hind, and I had a look at that. The only thing that's really missing is a bit of detail. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but like I say, his Hind was great. Just the rivet detail was missing. The same with the Herc. It's just the the rivet detail is missing. If you were to spend a few hours just re-rivet and everything, it would go into a fantastic kit. Ha! Please excuse the dust, but you mean this one? Yeah, you're right, mate. They can jog on. This is the Tamiya 132nd Corsair F4U. It needs a good dusting, I will admit. Fell together, as you just said. It spoils it for us. But it looks like it's weathered. But the decals on this side, so if you can see it, it looks like I've weathered them in, which I'm actually starting to like, especially on the wing. They just destroyed themselves. It was fine. I agree, yeah. This is just, again, no thingy so I can see inside and clean the canopy, polish it. But yeah, absolutely wonderful kit. You all right, mate? Not a problem. Brian, all right, okay. You gonna tell me what it is there, Fred? Brian, I've passed your information over to Rob, and he's getting it into the post this week at some point, mate. So it's on its way. So yeah, fantastic kit all round. The decals were crap. Oh yeah, I'll build a 4GT every day, mate. My pleasure, Brian. No problem with that 4GT. I like the idea of that. I think I picked that kit up. I actually picked that kit up very well. That's not an old Tamiya kit, Andrew. I think it's about 3 years old, that kit. I had thought about stripping the decals off and redoing them, but they actually look quite well weathered on a dirty old aircraft. But fantastic kit. Along with the Spitfire, I built multiple Spitfires, one which I actually went to a pilot, which I had the honour of meeting. Again, fabulous. Then the 132, I built two, one as a commission for a guy who saw my first one and bought the kit, sent it to me. And I built it for him, bless his heart. And I actually handed that over to Telford a couple of years ago. But the kit's just, I mean, but now you go to something like the Buck, and it is as good as it goes together. I'm not saying the quality is as good, but the fit is as good as a Tamiya kit. The same with the Academy AH1, which I built. Again, it was a helicopter for a start, but I thought, oh, this is going to be a pain. It wasn't. It was a fantastic kit. And the amount of detail on it is incredible. But they go together now so well. The way everything's CAD designed, everything's brilliant. It's really, really good. Right, so there we go. That's me on my high horse. I just like, we didn't hit that 20 mark, guys. I can't give away anything until we have a 20. Great, I'll get it ordered as soon as I've finished here, mate. Thank you. Yeah, what do we have? The Airfix 172 F4s, the Navy version. I haven't built the, what do you call it, one yet. I personally use black primer on everything that I do except the externals of the aircraft. In the cockpit, everything is painted in black first. in black microfiller and primer. The reason behind that, it straight away gives you, as you build the paint up, it can give you different areas of wear, of shading, where the pilot's feet have been. You can do that. It's an initial stage of weathering. I mean, I'm not that new. I'm not that, well, I am fairly new to airbrushing myself. Oh yeah, did that make that joint superb? The joints just disappeared, Brian. Loved it. Yeah, I'm fairly new to airbrushing myself, but without my airbrush, I wouldn't be using models. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, really. I'm. I'll be honest. I'm desperate to build a 148 Memphis Belle, and I'm waiting for the HK one to come in. I built the Memphis Belle when I was first into models, perhaps about 2011, 12. Brilliant kit, goes together lovely. It's the raised panel lines. Yeah, I could sand them all out and rescribe them all, but with HK coming out with a brand new Memphis Belle, I'm going to be building that. It's a pity we don't have a 148 bomber resupply set. That would look good. But Fred's just done his Lancaster, and I think it would look fantastic with a supply kit on a board. There are many kits coming out this year, so it seems that China are catching up with us a little bit and doing quite well. But there you go. So, have you guys got any questions? Anything else? I mean, you can always, at the end of this video, when I've finished, I'll put on some contact details, either for myself, for Rob, where you can order. The website itself, of course, you can order off there direct. You can send me emails whenever you like. Brian did this week. Brian, I did do the start again. I did have a go at the, what you call it, the gunmetal, and I explained that it's the muzzle, not the actual shroud cover, if you like, shroud, or the shroud cover. It's probably the best way to show you. If I just do it quickly, I've got 5 minutes while you're here. People don't particularly like me getting into group builds. I don't know why. It's mainly because I stamp all my photographs with Alclad2 on them. And the reason behind that is I had a lot of my photographs stolen by a guy down south. And it was used as his own work. And he got commission work through my photographs. So I always watermark my photos. And people just don't seem to like them. Some of the guys on a lot of the sites. I do get permission to use them. I always ask. But when it comes to group builds, they generally don't like me using them. But there you go. If I get invited, I will. But there's a lot better modelers out there than me, I can assure you. You got 3 or 4 in here that I do know of. So while I've got you, Brian, I'm going to cover it up again, but hey, there you go. This is the same batch that you've got. Andrew, I can't, to do a proper color chart with the exact colors, it's extremely expensive, like a fortune, because it has to be real colors. We could do one on the Alclad page. I did organise one over Christmas, but not one person took part, which is possibly my fault. Excuse me, but I'll organise one on the Alclad Facebook page if you like, and I'll organise with Rob for some some prizes, which won't be a problem, I'm sure. We'll do that. You come up with next week. You tell me what you want to. We'll do between you guys. If anybody fancies it, we'll do a group build. We'll call it the live group build, and I'll work on mine on live. There you go. So we'll do stuff on live. Right, Brian. You can see I've got 2 types of metal on here, and we'll just. All I'm going to do is just spray this on. Nothing special. This is the 3rd coat this plastic has had on it. And like I said, it has a purpley blue haze to it because it is literally the proper gunmetal colour. So, oh, good. Nice. Yeah, good idea, that one. There you go, Brian. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that on there. That's over top of some really shiny chrome. And it's got a purpley blue haze, which it should have. And the focus is going in and out for some reason. Good. Nobody took part, Stuart. I had no feedback whatsoever from it. I did plug it a few times. Nothing came back. Was a little bit disappointed. Don't think there was a single entry. But we will. I'll do another one. If you guys decide, you've got a week from here till next Wednesday. This next Wednesday evening at about 8 o'clock, roughly. You guys decide what you'd like to do between you. You put in what you think, and then we'll put them all together, and we'll decide in the group what we're going to do. We'll treat this as a group as such. And if it's what you want to do, that's what we'll do. And how long we want to take. We'll do it on the way you guys want to do it, not the way somebody decides like I generally decide. Because obviously I'm no good at deciding because of the Pacific group build. But we'll do that. Right, young gentlemen. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Submarines. Righto, son. Where did that come out of? I hate to think what you're looking at. No, I don't know. It's easy for me, Mick, and Rob to sit down and say, right, we're going to do a group build. What are we going to do? Oh, Pacific this. We put it up on Facebook, and you get. Yeah, great stuff. That would be good, Brian. You know, it's. But the trouble is, you've got AFV modelers. We've got every other modeler in sight. Hello. Troubles here. So, if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. Oh, was it what you wanted? I did. I didn't block him out. Right. Okay. Spoken to. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, guys. Thanks for coming in and watching. I can't do a giveaway. We didn't get 20. But if you share it on your Facebook page, just share it everywhere. The more we get in here, the more we can give away. I got the go-ahead from the boss. No, the boss. I'm the boss here. The boss at... Oh, right. Good idea. Like I said, I'll sort some prizes out and we'll go from there. Anyway, thanks, guys, for coming in. I do appreciate it. You listen to me rambling on. And we'll see you all again next week. You have any questions? Like I said, I'll put everything down at the bottom. You guys have a... Sorry about that. You guys have a great week, and we'll speak next week. All the best, and stay safe, guys. We'll speak to you soon. Bye bye for now.